Good afternoon, everybody. Progress has been pretty slow on the van, but I've been getting a few things done. I just wanted to give you a quick update, show you what I've done, and talk about what I'm going to do. I haven't been recording much because what I've been doing is fairly simple stuff that I don't think anybody's going to need any instruction on, and I don't think it would be very entertaining either. So I've just been going ahead and getting stuff done because I can get it done faster when I'm not recording it. But I just wanted to cover everything. Firstly, I went ahead and finished getting the floor prepped, got it painted with some primer to hold down any odors or anything that might be there. You know, there was mildew and things on there, so a nice thick coat of primer to keep the odor down, and it definitely helps. The van smells much better just having this primer down. I got this threshold out, so you got the fiberglass right here, and there's a gap, as you can see. There's a wall would normally be out to here. So what I'm going to do is get some plywood, put it along here, and secure it. That way this door here can still has something to close against. And I'm working on getting the toilet out right now. I'll show you that in a minute. Got a new shower head. Seen a lot of good reviews on this shower head, so I went ahead and got one. And what I'm going to do is I actually broke this faucet by mistake. I got a new one on order, but this was really cheap. Anyway, the shower head normally connects right here. I'm actually going to put a valve right about here, a complete on-off valve, because I've always hated how these shower heads all constantly dribble while you're taking a shower. You know, anybody who's taking a shower in an RV knows you got to conserve water. So you turn the water on, get yourself wet, then you hit the little off button, soap yourself all up, and then rinse yourself. And of course, the whole time you're soaping yourself up, this is water streaming out of here, even though it's off. And that's obviously a waste of water. But there is a reason for it. The reason they do that is because these hoses are not rated to handle the pressure of water pipes. So if you fully shut the water off here, all that water pressure will still be in the hose. So what I'm going to do is put a valve down here so that the pressure will remain inside the pipes and there won't be any pressure in the hose. So I can conserve water, I can fully shut this off and back on without putting any pressure in the water hose. So that's another little thing I'm doing. Also, I have installed this soap dispenser. These are really great. That way you don't have to have bottles of soap and shampoo sitting around, because if you forget to put them away, they'll fall down and make a big mess. So you got a spot for shampoo and for soap or body wash. And it basically just comes with an adhesive and a silicone glue that you just stick on there. So that was quite easy. Let's see, what else? I've got this door off to make it easier to work with the toilet. Also, I did find a vinyl floor specifically made for this van. I'll put the link down into the description. It's Auto Custom Carpets is the manufacturer that made it. And it's a really good, thick vinyl that actually almost looks and feels like bed liner once it's down. But it's pre-cut to fit here. But it does need to be trimmed and everything to make it fit. And I talked to an auto upholstery guy, and he says it needs to be steamed in order to make it soft enough to contour to the wheel wells. And he's right. And I don't have a steamer. So I'm going to give him another call on Friday. He's pretty backed up, on Thursday. He's pretty backed up, but he thinks he can fit me in on Friday and go ahead and install it for me. I figure I'd rather just pay the money and have it done right than try to do it myself and mess it up. But it was real cheap. I believe the vinyl was something like $150 plus tax and shipping, which I think is very reasonable. It even came with padding to put under there. So I still got a big mess. Oh, let's see what else. I took the mattress out. I got to get all that crap out of here. I took the mattress out because it's not comfortable, and I'm replacing it with a nice thick, something like 8-inch thick memory foam padding. But let me show you what I'm dealing with the toilet, the problem that I'm having right now. Okay, well, it's too dark under the van to film, but basically there are two bolts that go through the floor on either side of the waste pipe, and that's what holds the toilet to the floor. Unfortunately, those bolts are completely rusted, and I tried getting a long socket on there and turning them, and they're just spinning inside there because it's not secure at the top. Hard to describe. The long and short of it is I have to cut them off. And there's no room under there between the exhaust pipe and the sewage pipes to get a regular angle grinder in there. So I got to use a Dremel. It's got this little cutting wheel on it. I got extras because I guarantee I'm going to use up many of these. But this is what it's going to take. So I shall do that right now. Oh, one other thing. I finally got around to painting the rear bumper. It's already gotten dirty because I was standing on it, but it's basically just a textured spray paint from Rust-Oleum. I cleaned up the surface rust and painted it on there, and I think it looks pretty good. Some of you might be wondering, I was talking about the sewer hose. I cannot store the sewer hose in this thing because this is not a standard RV bumper. This is about twice as thick as a standard bumper. The connector for the sewer hose will not fit inside this. That's why I can't store this. So I got to come up with a better way to store the sewer hose. But that's for another day. Let's focus on the toilet for now. Okay, well, that was fun. Now let's see if I can get this toilet out. Oh yeah, that's the ticket. Ooh, that's nasty. Oh, that barely fits. Yay. All right. Here's what we got. Disgusting. Oh, is that nasty? I'm going to have to do some serious cleaning. But I see no reason the new toilet won't work. I went ahead and set the new toilet tank down in there just to make sure it fits, and then I measured properly. Finally, something goes my way. Check this out. Look at that. Is that not a perfect fit? I mean, it doesn't even cover the drain. It is perfect. It fits like it was made for it. Man, am I happy. I had my doubts on whether or not this tank was going to fit. But it is beautiful. Oh, I'm happy about that. Oh, it's going to be so much better. Now, let me show you what I have to do to finish this job. Okay, this is the bottom of that toilet tank. The front of the toilet is here, this is the back side, and this is the bottom. Now, as I mentioned briefly in my last video, this toilet was originally intended to be vacuum dumped for boats. There's that vacuum port on the top side. But I have to convert it to gravity dump. Obviously, there's no way to vacuum out this thing on the road, and frankly, I don't want to. So the modification, my plan was to just cut a hole here and then attach some kind of a screw-in fitting, just bolt it on, that had a gasket and whatever, and then you can attach PVC pipe from there. Problem was, I couldn't find anything that worked. There were limitations. One, it had to be inside this area, because if it were bigger than this area here, it wouldn't work because of this lip here. Additionally, that is the only access into the tank right here. It looks big, but it's not. It's only something like 3 1/4 inches or maybe 4 inches across here. So anything bigger than this, I couldn't use. I found something called a bulkhead fitting that's made for this kind of thing, where you cut a hole and then it sticks in from the inside, and then you screw something down and it holds it, and then you can attach pipes to that. The problem was, the largest fitting that would fit through that other hole that I just showed you was a 2-inch, which is like sink drain size, which is not going to be good enough. I want a big, at least 3-inch, preferably 4-inch hole here so nothing clogs. So I started looking at more options. The easiest option I could come up with was having it welded, plastic welded. Those of you who are not familiar with it, it works very similar to metal welding, where you basically just heat up both materials and then add in a filler. It all blends together and it basically becomes one piece. Then I had to find out, what is this made of? Because you cannot weld 2 different types of plastics together because they have different melting temperatures. If they don't both melt at the same temperature, they will not blend together well enough. So after much research, lots of phone calls, I found out this is made of high-density polyethylene, which is not the same material as PVC pipes that you get at like Home Depot, which means that a PVC pipe can't simply be welded onto this. So I had to hunt down high-density polyethylene pipe. There it is right there. That is a high-density polyethylene pipe. You can see it's pretty thick. This is actually a 4-inch, so it's 4-inch diameter here to here. Standard sewage drain pipes are 3-inch. I wanted a little bit bigger. So basically, because this is high-density polyethylene and this is high-density polyethylene, these two can be welded together beautifully. So all I have to do is figure out specifically where by measuring up in the van. Once I get all the old sewer pipes out, I'll set this in the bathroom, and then I'll go underneath, and I will mark where the opening in the floor is. And then I will take this to the plastic welder. He will weld this right on there, just like that. And then what I'm going to do is actually cut it off about here. So it's only going to be about, 4 or 5 inches worth of pipe sticking out the bottom. And then I'm going to attach a rubber boot over this that actually reduces down to 3-inch, so that from there I can attach PVC on the bottom side of that rubber boot. And then 3-inch PVC standard drain pipe will go the rest of the way to where the sewer hose attaches. Did everybody get that? I know it's complicated. It sounds weird. But when you see it done, it'll make sense. The reason I wanted to go with the rubber boot, rather than, well, first of all, because you can't glue high-density polyethylene to PVC. It won't bond. So I have to have some kind of a connector. The rubber boot will allow flexibility between the two pipes. That way, if there's any kind of movement in the sewage pipes, it's not going to break this or create stress cracks that'll cause leakage. Additionally, the rubber boot will allow me to, someday, if I ever have to take the whole thing apart, make any repairs that are necessary, upgrades, that kind of thing. It's all about looking to the future and what might I have to do in the future. So this is the project that I'm working on now. The floors are happening sort of all at the same time, and it's kind of an ongoing thing where I'm kind of pulled in multiple different directions. And I'm having to balance doing the work myself to save money and simply stop being a miser, spend the money to get something done so that it's done and you don't have to worry about it. So this is one of those things that I'm going to have to outsource and have it done. The vinyl in the front is going to have to be done by someone else. And then I'm going to take it over to a flooring place, a house flooring place, to have the rest of the floor done. This thing's a monstrosity. Believe me, the African Queen was absolutely the perfect name for it, because it is absolutely just pulling me in every direction, and no project is as easy as it seems at first. But I'm going to get it done. I mean, it's not like it has to be done all this year or all next year. I could spend 5 years restoring this thing if I want to. The next big thing, once I get these projects done, the next big thing is the paint. I've shown this to you before. It's really bad. I don't know how well you can see that. In fact, over here, I tried using a buffing wheel and some compound to try to clean this up, and it actually made it worse. So that's no good. It started to take the decals off, and yeah, that's not going to work. It needs to be repainted. It's just gone. The paint is gone, folks. I know that Explorer Steve was able to restore his, but mine is in far worse condition than his was. His wasn't neglected and sat around for 10 years like mine was. So I got a lot of work ahead of me over many years, but I'm ultimately going to get it done. Right, Frank? Where are you going, Frank? Frank, come back. Come here. Come here. Where's my kitty? You Frank the Tank, what are you doing? I know you're bad. I know. You're gonna go hunt down some bunnies again? Huh? You gonna go hunt down another bunny and bring it in alive like you did the other day? Let's throw this away. Ugh. We had a bad windstorm a couple weeks ago and it broke this fence. My neighbor hasn't gotten around to fixing it yet. Where are you going? Okay, so vinyl floor Friday. I got a meeting with a mechanic on Monday to talk about another project that I don't want to reveal quite yet. I'll reveal that when we do it. So literally, hopefully, by the end of the month, I will have all this stuff done and I will actually be able to take her out camping again. So that's that for today. I appreciate your watching as usual. Check us out on Facebook. And hey, if anybody wants an old recirculating toilet, you let me know. I won't hold on to it very long, but I don't know why you'd want it, but hey, if you want it, you can have it. I'll give it to you for free. It still works. Just give me a message. All right, see y'all later.